They called crypto the future of money, a digital fortress protected by unbreakable code, a system immune to the failures of traditional banks. But that illusion was shattered once again when Bybit, one of the largest crypto exchanges in the world, fell victim to a cyber heist. So massive it sent shockwaves across the entire digital asset industry. In one chilling stroke, hackers penetrated Bybit's highly secured multi-signature wallet and made off with an estimated $1.4 billion worth of cryptocurrency, one of the largest thefts in the history of finance, digital or otherwise. For investors, the news was devastating. For skeptics, it was proof that the promise of blockchain security is still vulnerable to human error and sophisticated attacks. And for regulators, it was a flashing red alarm, reminding the world that crypto's greatest strength, its decentralized and digital nature, can also be its biggest weakness. But how did a platform as advanced as Bybit, trusted by millions of users globally, lose more than $1 billion in the blink of an eye? And more importantly, what does this breach mean for the future of crypto exchanges, security, and the fragile trust holding this volatile industry together? To understand the scale of this heist, you first need to understand how Bybit positioned itself in the crypto world. Founded in 2018, Bybit quickly rose to become one of the biggest players in derivatives trading, offering advanced features, deep liquidity, and cutting-edge infrastructure. Its reputation wasn't just built on trading volume, but also on security. Bybit's executives repeatedly assured customers that their assets were safe, stored in multi-signature cold wallets that required multiple approvals to move funds. The system was designed specifically to prevent exactly this kind of breach. Unlike hot wallets, which are constantly connected to the internet and vulnerable to attacks, cold storage was supposed to be the fortress wall that no hacker could scale. And for years it worked, or at least it appeared to. But in the murky world of cybercrime, patience is often the deadliest weapon, and whoever orchestrated this attack was willing to wait, watch, and strike with surgical precision. The details of the heist are chilling. Sometime in the early hours of trading, suspicious withdrawals began to appear on Bybit's blockchain records. At first, they were small enough to avoid immediate alarms, but soon, the amounts ballooned into hundreds of millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin, Ethereum, USDT, and other assets. Within hours, over $1.4 billion had been siphoned out of the exchange, routed through a maze of wallets designed to obscure the hackers' tracks. What makes this breach so terrifying is that it wasn't just a single-point failure. It exploited vulnerabilities in the very multi-signature system that Bybit touted as unbreakable. Forensic analysts believe the attackers may have gained partial access to multiple private keys, either through insider compromise, advanced phishing campaigns, or even exploiting weaknesses in the way Bybit stored and rotated its signatures. This wasn't the work of a lone amateur hacker. It bore the hallmarks of a sophisticated, highly coordinated cybercrime syndicate, possibly with state-level backing. Bybit was quick to respond, halting withdrawals, freezing suspicious transactions, and issuing urgent statements to calm the storm. The exchange assured users that it was investigating the breach, working with law enforcement, and deploying top cybersecurity firms to trace the stolen assets. But the damage was already done. Billions had vanished, confidence was shattered, and questions swirled about how a platform of Bybit's size and reputation could have been caught so off guard. Users flooded social media with panic, some furious at the loss of funds, others demanding answers about whether their holdings were insured or if they'd ever see them again. The hashtag #BybitHack trended globally, and the news was picked up by mainstream outlets, cementing this heist as not just a crypto scandal, but a financial crisis with global repercussions. What makes the Bybit breach even more alarming is the context. This wasn't the first time a major exchange was hacked, but it was by far one of the largest. History has seen similar disasters. The 2014 Mt. Gox collapse that lost 850,000 bitcoins, the 2019 CoinCheck hack that drained 530 million INS tokens, and of course the endless list of DeFi exploits that have collectively stolen billions. But 1.4 billion in a single strike? That pushed the narrative into uncharted territory. If one of the safest exchanges could be hit so brutally, what does that mean for the rest of the industry? Security experts warned that no matter how strong the code, humans remained the weakest link. Whether it was a rogue employee, a compromised device, or even bribery, the attack revealed just how fragile the supposed ironclad defenses of crypto exchanges really are. As investigators scrambled to follow the digital money trail, whispers began circulating about who could be behind the attack. Some analysts suggested it had the fingerprints of Lazarus Group, the North Korean state-sponsored hacking unit, blamed for multiple high-profile crypto heists used to fund the regime's weapons program. Others pointed to Eastern European cybercrime syndicates, known for their sophisticated ransomware operations and money laundering networks. While attribution in cybercrime is notoriously difficult, the sheer scale and precision of the Bybit hack suggested resources and expertise far beyond that of casual criminals. If true, it would mean billions in stolen crypto are now fueling global black markets, terrorism financing, or hostile state programs, a chilling reminder that digital assets are not just a playground for investors, but also a geopolitical battleground. But the questions didn't stop there. Was this truly an external hack, or was there an insider angle? Some skeptics speculated that the breach may have involved cooperation from within Bybit's own ranks, intentionally or unintentionally. After all, multi-signature systems require multiple approvals. So how did hackers manage to bypass them without insider knowledge? If employees were compromised, coerced, or even complicit, the breach might be less about technical flaws and more about human betrayal. Bybit has denied any insider involvement, but until the investigation is complete, the possibility lingers in the minds of millions. For investors, the fallout has been brutal. While Bybit has promised to reimburse affected users and claimed its reserves can cover the losses, trust is a currency that's harder to replenish than Bitcoin. Some traders have already withdrawn their funds from other exchanges, fearing copycat attacks. Others are questioning whether centralized exchanges, no matter how big, can ever truly be safe. Decentralized exchanges and self-custody wallets are once again gaining popularity, with crypto veterans repeating the age-old mantra, "Not your keys, not your coins." But let's be real. Most users won't manage their own cold wallets. They want convenience, and that convenience is what makes exchanges so vulnerable. Regulators, meanwhile, are seizing on the Bybit hack as evidence that stricter oversight is not just necessary but overdue. Governments in the US, Europe, and Asia are already drafting tougher rules for crypto platforms, from mandatory audits to capital reserve requirements and stricter cybersecurity protocols. The Bybit heist is fuel for their arguments, a dramatic example of what happens when billions of dollars of unregulated assets sit behind digital vaults that can be cracked. Some industry leaders fear this could trigger a regulatory backlash so severe it stifles innovation, while others quietly admit that without stronger safeguards, public confidence in crypto could collapse altogether. But here's the paradox. The Bybit hack is both a disaster and a lesson. It shows that no system is invulnerable, that trust must be earned daily, and that billions in digital wealth can vanish in a matter of hours if complacency takes root. And yet, it also highlights the resilience of the crypto community. Within days of the attack, blockchain sleuths were already tracking the stolen funds, exchanges were blacklisting suspicious wallets, and cybersecurity experts were collaborating across borders to trace the attackers. While the odds of recovering all 1.4 billion are slim, history has shown that some stolen assets can be clawed back, especially when hackers slip up while laundering funds. Still, the scars will remain. For Bybit, its reputation may never fully recover. For investors, the shock serves as a brutal wake-up call. And for the industry, it raises an existential question. Can crypto ever shed its association with hacks, scams, and collapses? Or are these crises simply woven into its DNA? Because every time a hack like this happens, it chips away at the central promise of crypto: trust through technology. And if that trust evaporates, no blockchain, no token, and no exchange can survive. So where does this story end? With Bybit scrambling to rebuild, with regulators circling, and with hackers somewhere out there, perhaps halfway across the globe, sitting on billions in stolen wealth. The battle for crypto's future is no longer just about adoption or innovation. It's about survival. Because in a world where $1.4 billion can vanish in a single cyber strike, the line between revolution and ruin is razor thin. And if you thought this was the last massive crypto heist, think again. Because somewhere out there, another hacker is already plotting the next big breach. Stay tuned.